Hi, my name is Lisa McIntosh, and I'm going to demonstrate how to create your own RGB and CMY graphic using Photoshop. This Photoshop graphic will visually describe how RGB and CMY work in conjunction with each other as an easy-to-use demonstration tool for your students to disprove RYB theory. RGB refers to red, green and blue. The cyan, magenta and yellow gamut is to do with ink. It's easy to see how the two gamuts are opposite to each other, and they're actually cousins. So let's begin the functionalities of what you'll be learning in Photoshop. The aim is to create an interactive RGB and CMY graphic in Photoshop to learn the following skills. First of all, we'll set up a new RGB document with a transparent background. You can tell it's transparent by looking at the grey and white squares here. First of all, we'll create 6 layers with multiply and difference effects. And by typing in 2 lots of text, those layers automatically create themselves. You can find the Layers palette by going into Window and ticking it. We're also going to talk about the Ellipse selection tool and how to create a perfect circle using the Shift key and using the Option key to draw from the centre out. And you're going to learn how to name and rearrange layers. It's important to name your layers so they're easy to find later on. We're also going to learn about red, green and blue channels. We're looking at the green within layers. We're still within the layers. You'll find channels right beside layers. And if the channels window doesn't appear, just go into Window within the menu, scroll down and then select the tick. Within an RGB document, there are always 3 channels, red, green and blue. All of these individually are grayscale. When I hide the red and the blue channel, I take off the eyes off both, we're left with the green channel. And here, because we have a solid section of green, it is on the channel shown as being 100% white. What this means is all of that light is going to be shining through within that green channel, which makes sense because all that's on that channel is green. We've gone back into layers and we've switched back on all 3 of the colours. You'll notice when we go back to channels that the red and the blue will be completely black because they will be blocking any light within the green channel. So there will be no red or blue light shining through this green channel. To create any new document within Photoshop or any other Adobe product, first of all, we need to go to the menu, go into File, and select New. Once the dialog box comes up, then you need to name the document. In my case, RGB_CMY_Demo1. To create a web document, go into Preset. Where it says Custom, scroll down until you see the word Web. Click on that and let go. This is because all we are doing with this file is we're only ever going to look at it on screen. It's important to keep the screen size as large as possible. You'll notice the resolution automatically falls to 72 pixels per inch, and because it's an RGB document, the colour mode remains at RGB. The background contents remain at transparent. This is important when doing this particular experiment, as if you have a background color, even if it is black or white, this particular experiment won't work. Then click OK. We're going to create an RGB graphic in the top left-hand corner and a CMY graphic in the bottom right-hand corner. Now we're going to use the ellipse tool. The ellipse selection tool is a second tool down from the top. It's found usually within the rectangular selection tool. You can tell that there are more tools within tools by seeing the downward pointing arrow. Hold your mouse down over the selection tool until it becomes an ellipse selection tool, and then let go of the mouse. To draw an ellipse tool using the ellipse selection key, all you have to do is click and drag with the mouse. However, you need to draw a perfect circle drawn from the center out. First of all, start drawing with the mouse. Second step, hold the finger on Option or Alt within a PC. Third step, still drawing and still holding that Option key down, then put the third finger on Shift key. When you've finished, let go of the mouse first and then the two hotkeys, and you'll have a perfectly drawn circle from the center out. The color gamut that we'll be working with today is RGB. The gamut RGB can be found underneath the window under Colors. Because we are doing red, green and blue today, we always think of red as first. So within the red channel, we need to type in 255 because this is the most amount of light that we can let in. Using our Tab key, tab down to green, type in 0, and then in the blue channel, also type in 0. After we've typed that colour in, we can see it appearing in the foreground colour over here on the left. The foreground colour is called the foreground colour because it's on top of the background colour, which at the moment is coloured in as white. That's good. Now we've got a walking ant selection. We're going to fill it the old-fashioned way. We're going to go up to Edit, scroll down to Fill, and up comes a little dialog box. We're going to make sure that it's filled with foreground colour because the red is within the foreground colour. And we're going to make sure that we keep the opacity at 100% and the effect at normal. We now have a perfectly shaped red circle. Now I don't want to move the red circle itself. I only need to move the selection. So remaining within the selection tool, we're now going to move this over here to our right, so it's slightly overlapping the red circle. To rename a layer, all you need to do is double click on where the type goes, and then you can simply type in the name of the layer. I'm now going to go up here in the Colors palette and fill in that circle with green. Yes, you can use the sliders, but you do risk putting in incorrect numbers. So I prefer that you actually type in the numbers instead of using the sliders. We are now going to fill this circle here within that layer with this particular green. Again, we're going to go up to Edit, down to Fill, use foreground colour, and hit OK. While I'm at it, I might as well rename that layer and call it red. Create another layer, double click it, and type in blue. To add text, all we need to do is click on the T tool. To demonstrate this, I'm just going to remove the text that's here so that you can see what's going on. I'm just going to pop that layer in the bin. To select text, simply click on it 3 times to select the whole line. To save time, I'm simply going to Option drag that text down to the bottom right-hand corner. To do this, first of all you start dragging with your mouse. Then, with your other hand, hold on to this Option key. When you've finished dragging it to where you want it to go, let go of the mouse and then let go of the hotkey. Make sure that when you go to make amendments to the text that you've got the text tool selected. You'll notice that when we made amendments to the type, that the layer automatically corrected itself. Now to be able to see the secondaries within the primaries as the colours overlap, we need to be able to place the correct effect on all 3 of those layers for this to work. I'm now going to go into the Layers palette and shift-click on all 3 of those layers, red, green and blue. Where it says Normal, I'm going to scroll all the way down until it says Difference, and then let go. This effect mixes the colours as if they were light. A red torch crossing over a green torch over a blue torch. Here we see the secondaries, cyan, magenta and yellow, and the lightest colour possible, which is white when all 3 are crossed over. Now moving down to the ink gamut, we need to create the reverse effect. Same idea, we select all 3 of the colours, cyan, magenta and yellow, using our Shift key, go up to where it says Normal, and scroll down until it says Multiply and let go. Using the multiply effect makes the colours mix as if they were made of ink. We're now going to wrap up the session. We have successfully created an interactive RGB and CMY graphic within Photoshop, and we've learnt the following functionalities. We've set up a new RGB web document with a transparent background. We've created 6 layers with multiply and difference effects applied. We've created 2 text layers. We've learned how to use the ellipse selection tool. We've named and rearranged layers. We've filled circles with exact primary and secondary colours, and we've learnt about red, green and blue channels. I hope you've enjoyed this session. Thank you.